On the phone right now, JP Ricciardi, host of the Brushback Podcast, a very fine baseball podcast. JP himself has been a man of baseball for over 40 years, working every job possible, including a lot of front office jobs, most notably 8 years as GM of the Toronto Blue Jays. JP, again, thank you very much for taking the time today.
Oh, no, my pleasure. Great to talk to you.
I think we have to talk about Juan Soto being a free agent and where you think he might end up. The Giants are talking about it, the Mets, the Blue Jays, and the Red Sox are even, I think, in the hunt for Juan Soto. And the Yankees, I guess, but Brian Cashman, the Yankees GM, is being very casual about it. I'm sure he's trying not to sound desperate, but he says that there are other players available that could help the Yankees. Where do you see Juan Soto ending up?
If I had to put my money on the line, I would say he ends up with the Mets. I think Steve Cohen has the money. I think Steve Cohen's team got very close. He saw the excitement in New York. This is why he bought the team. I don't think he's going to get outbid on Soto. If Soto doesn't go to the Mets, I don't believe it's going to be because of money. Cohen's wife is Latin American, and she likes to have the Latin American players. There's a lot of it's a big Latin American community. He's already got Lindor there. There's a lot of support there. I think he goes to the Mets. Wouldn't be surprised if he stayed with the Yankees based on maybe some of his relationships. But look, he's represented by Scott Boras. So it's basically going to come down to who gives him the most money. Boras is looking to make a big splash. He's looking to have, I've got this, I've got that. But everything starts with how much money he's going to be able to get and make a precedent. And then once the money is on the table, the deciding factor is going to come down to, do you have enough money to continue to support putting players on that team? Do you have a decent farm system that you can keep bringing players up? So, Soto's obviously in the driver's seat, but if you look at the Dodgers aren't going anywhere. They're going to continue to win. The Yankees will continue to win. Some of the teams like the Blue Jays, I don't know if they have the supporting cast around him to win, and I don't know if they have enough funds to be able to go after more players after they get Soto. So I think that therein lies the question with some of these teams. As far as the Red Sox go, they have some really good young players coming, but they're still young players. They're not proven. The pitching staff is a little shaky. Is ownership going to go out and spend money to continue to build a team and help them to get better? And I think you just have to look at Bryce Harper was a Boras client. He went to Philly, and they continued to spend money to build that team, and perennial very good team. So I think those are the things that will fall in place, but I just don't see Steve Cohen losing. This is why Steve Cohen bought the Mets. And I think you're going to see Steve Cohen do everything he has to do to get this guy.
You think he's going to break Ohtani's record deal at $700 million?
He might, just because he's younger than Ohtani. But Ohtani, the caveat with Ohtani is he could pitch. So
yes.
He's a two-way player. But it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if this guy, broke the record. Like I said, you're going to hear about a lot of teams, but a lot of teams are going to dip their toe in the water to say they dipped their toe in the water, like the Giants. I don't see them going to the Giants. It's not a hitter's park, and the Giants are ways away from winning. So I think he's going to stay in the limelight. I think it's going to be Dodgers, Mets, Yankees. Those would be my top three picks. If someone comes out of the blue, then they're going to be someone that's basically made him a part owner of the team or something. It's going to be something crazy creative, but I don't think at that point I would. There's no one player that anybody should do that for. So, you have to look at the Red Sox from a standpoint of just argument's sake. We'll throw names out there. They're better off going to get Fried and Burns, two starting pitchers, and get an outfielder. Bring O'Neill back, and your team is better because you've got presence on the mound. I mean, if they go get Soto, they still don't have pitching. So I don't see the Red Sox being in play for Soto, and I don't see Soto going to the Red Sox. But it's going to be interesting, as it always is, and I think it's going to happen fast because, like I said, I think there's a lot of pretenders that'll kick the tires, but I think in the end, there's some real, just the teams that are serious are going to get right to the point.
I'm sorry, if Soto goes to the Dodgers, I think the federal government will have to make that team illegal. That will just be completely unfair. That would be unbelievable.
What will really make it unfair is if they end up getting the Japanese pitcher too. So
yeah.
But that's what's happened to the game. There's the Uber teams, the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Mets have separated themselves from everybody else. The Red Sox aren't in that same category anymore. The Giants aren't in that same category. So you've got some of the old power teams that used to be, 10 big spenders, and now you're down to 3 or 4. So, it seems to be the landscape right now.
Yeah. Well, JP, appreciate your insights as always. And the Brushback podcast. Who are some guests you have coming up?
Oh, we got some guys lined up. We have George Poulos, a trainer from the Atlanta Braves. We have Kevin Kernan, who writes for Ball 9. Yeah, we'll have some good guests. We'll continue to have some good guests.
Awesome. That's JP Ricciardi, host of the Brushback podcast. You can listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. JP, thanks a lot, man.
Anytime, Mike. Take care.